blessedly short. If you were here last week, you know what I mean. We're turning to the book of Psalms and hearing one of the first songs ever written down that is offered to God. Psalm number 96. Oh, sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord, all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bless his name. Tell of his salvation from day to day. Declare his glory among the nations, his marvelous works among all the peoples. For great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods, for all the gods of the peoples are idols. But the Lord made the heavens. Honor and majesty are before him. Strength and beauty are in his sanctuary. Ascribe to the Lord, O families of the peoples. Ascribe to the Lord the glory due his name. Bring an offering and come into his courts. Worship the Lord in holy array. Terrible before him, all the earth. Say among the nations, the Lord reigns. Yea, the world is established. It shall never be moved. He will judge the peoples with equity. Let the heavens be glad, and let the earth rejoice. Let the sea roar, and all that fills it. Let the field exult, and everything in it. Then shall all the trees of the wood sing for joy before the Lord, for he comes. For he comes to judge the earth. He will judge the world with righteousness, and the peoples with his truth. The word of God for the people of God. Thanks be to God. There are at least two great gifts that spiritual teachings give us. Healthy spiritual teaching helps us to name reality. Not to shy away from it, not to cover it up, but to name it and experience it. Spirituality isn't about escaping the world. It's about finding a way to truthfully, honestly, authentically come to terms with the world the way it is. A second great gift that healthy spiritual teaching gives us is the creative ingenuity and imagination to hope in the reality that has yet to come. The Hebrew word that gives us hope, yahal, it's also the word that gives us trust. To hope is to trust. And where we place our trust can have a huge effect on how we interact with our present reality. In a piece of music, tension is created when the notes that are being played make us anticipate what comes next. They are notes that are longing for resolution. We find it hard to live in tension. Pastor Rob Bell has said, we're taught that tension exists merely to be resolved. We live in a culture that teaches us we are too good for tension. Tension, conflict, struggle. It's a waste of your time. You should be able to pay someone to take these worries off your hands. And when we by or negotiate our way out of a tense situation, we tend to take more drastic action. Sometimes we ignore the tension entirely, distancing ourselves from the source of our tension. And sometimes we take drastic action to resolve the conflict once and for all. We shout, we make demands, and we expect them to be adhered to. We slam doors. We start wars. And none of these actions actually resolves the tension. It just creates a lot of noise. Dissonance. To see reality for what it is, we will quickly realize the greatest source of tension in our lives doesn't come from those who are different from us. It doesn't come from some perceived enemy far, far away. Most often, the source of our tension is found right next to us. Our neighbor, our family. Maybe the tension is actually located right within our own hearts and minds. And if we can be honest about the source of the tension, then maybe we can trust or hope that something beyond ourselves will resolve the tension. Has said, heaven is a harmony of diversity. We are all individual notes, unique expressions of God in the world. We find our way into heaven when we allow the tension in our lives to transform into harmony. That usually requires more notes, not fewer. It requires a changing of our pace and rhythms of our lives, allowing for silence and trust. Trust that others will play their part. It is not always our job to resolve tension. It's more often our job to think and hope creatively within the tension, until we find ourselves arriving in the presence of God. That is how we sing to God a new song for a new heaven and a new earth.